Hello, my name's Steve. Thank you for taking the time to watch this short presentation. Within the presentation, we're going to look at the course itself, duration, how long you're going to be here, opportunities at the end. So once you've completed the course, what kind of employment opportunities are going to be available to you, what competencies you'll gain from doing the programme. So you will get a level 3 qualification, which kind of opens the door up to university level study and things like that. But also you'll get work ready competencies as well. On completion of watching the video, please read through the email thoroughly, as it will contain a lot of information that will be useful to you. Thank you. Okay, so welcome to the presentation. You can see just on there, it's a level 3 diploma in rail engineering technology. So that's the qualification you're going to gain whilst you're with us. So the rail infrastructure itself, for the course that you guys are going to be on, we've successfully delivered to over 200 learners. 85% of those learners have moved into employment within 3 weeks of completing the programme. We place you with an employer upon successful completion of the initial 10-week training. Okay, so that's kind of our commitment to you guys. We do place you with an employer, and we will ensure that there is employment opportunities at the end of the 10-week initial programme. I'll go into that in a little bit more detail in a second. So how it's funded. The course, if you was to kind of pay for it out of your own pocket, would cost around £7,000. But because this is a government funded programme, you'll be getting it absolutely for free. I suppose to qualify for it, you need to be a UK resident, you need to be claiming some form of job seekers or be a low earner under £18,525. You also need to be over 19 years of age and have access to some form of ID, so like your passport or your birth certificate and proofs of address. You also need to have proof of claiming or some form of pay slip to show that you're a low earner. Okay, so that's essential to be accepted for the funding. But once that's all in place, you're good to go essentially. So what will you be learning? The qualification, like I said, is a level 3 diploma. It gives you access to university level study as well. So this kind of qualification is a two-pronged attack. You can either go straight into work or you can look at university level study as well, which is always a benefit to some people. One of my previous groups, 2 people from a previous group have moved into university level study upon completion of this course. So because it's a knowledge-based qualification, you will get access to university level 4, 5 and 6 upon completion. The first unit you'll look at is civil engineering. This is quite relevant to the railway at the minute because we've got a project called HS2, and that's a project that runs all the way through until 2029. A lot of the things that will be happening on there is civil engineering, so that is always a good thing to know about. So essentially building tunnels, shaping the land to install the railway line. Your next unit is all about track engineering, so you're going to learn about different strategies of how we build track, connect pieces of track together, different components associated with track. You'll look at the new methods that we use to install, and how we use high output techniques as well to help just build the railway line as a whole. So again, a really good unit to look at. The next unit is unit 92, which is very similar to the previous one. You just go into a little bit more detail on network rail standards, also final quality inspections of the track once it's been installed. Both of those units have practical elements involved. So we will be visiting a track, we will be working on it, you will be getting dirty, you will have PPE issued to you by us. So the PPE issued is free of charge, so you will end up looking like the guys in that picture. Your next one is your maintenance. So there is 22,000 miles of track in the UK at the minute. That needs to be regularly maintained and looked after just to make sure that trains run efficiently, well, as efficiently as possible. So we look at different strategies of how we can maintain pieces of track. Unit 96, moving to a kind of a different sector now. Unit 96 focuses on overhead line engineering. Overhead line engineering isn't dangerous. There is 25,000 volts that passes through your overhead line engineering contact wires, but if you're working in that area, it's always switched off and isolated. So this is another area where you may end up working once you finish the programme with us. Also signalling, so this unit's all about how we control train movements, stop trains from essentially crashing into one another. We don't have many incidents on the railway with regards to that, so it is a very safe place to be. It is one of the safest modes of transport in the world. All right, and our safety record in this country is really high up. All right, so we kind of look at older signalling systems, and then we look at future signalling systems in this unit. So on top of your level 3 qualification, and I mean your level 3 qualification is really important, you'll also gain, I suppose, your working competencies, which are as important. You'll get these competencies once you've been placed with your employer. So it's your employer that will put you through these competencies. Your first one is emergency first aid at work and manual handling. They're essential because you will be lifting and moving maybe potentially heavy objects. Also, you need to have an awareness of first aid, and that ticket will give you the ability to be a first aider within the rail industry. So it's kind of a, I suppose, it makes you more employable, I suppose. Your personal track safety ticket, this is kind of like safety passport to work in the infrastructure. This ticket will enable you to have access to 22,000 miles of track up and down the country. It teaches you basic safety whilst working on the infrastructure. Overhead line engineering construction 1. This ticket will give you the ability to work in and around overhead line engineering systems. I suppose it's your first step on the ladder, and it enables you to do other jobs as well. So we can place you with employers a little bit easier if you've got this ticket. Track induction course. So this is more your working ticket, and this enables you to replace, remove, add all different parts of the track. And it essentially enables you to do what that guy's doing in the picture. You can't remove any component from the track unless you've got your track induction course. That's a 5-day course made up of practical and theory elements. All right, so it's a really important ticket to have to be able to get you out into the work environment. We also provide you with small tools and equipment. Again, this is not essential, but it's something that will make you more employable. Employers generally are more liable to take you on if you've got these tickets. They're generally small petrol-driven tools that you can use in and around the workplace. We then teach you how to use them, deem you as competent to use them, and then provide you with a competence card so you can use these specific tools in the work arena. All right, so that's it for the presentation. Just a couple more things before we finish. The rail industry is a well-paid job. Initially, you can earn up to £28,000 a year once you first start. A couple of things to maybe talk about the rail industry. You will be working different shift patterns. You will be working weekends. It is all weather conditions as well, and you may be asked to travel to different locations. All right, so there's a couple of things to maybe think about there. A couple of other things as well. I've been in the rail industry for 15 years. I've always enjoyed it. It's always been something that I've enjoyed working in. If you're in kind of like a mundane job or you're not in employment at all, it's a really good industry to be in. It's not been affected by COVID as well, so it's an industry that's continued on. You can earn some really good money potentially once you've got more tickets. Christmas shifts and New Year shifts. If you guys moved into a shift over Christmas and New Year's, you'd get £400 a shift plus double time. That's across the board. So there's a lot of really good, I suppose, bonuses of working in the rail industry. Okay, so thank you for listening to this short presentation. If you've got any questions, just drop those to the email that's going to be sending the presentation out, and thank you for listening.